William Afton is the co-founder of Fazbear Entertainment as well as the main antagonist of the Five Nights at Freddy series. He's a serial killer who was directly and indirectly responsible for all of the incidents, tragedies, events throughout the entire series. His role in the franchise's story is pivotal, but that doesn't mean we've only seen one version of the character in a series that's nearly 8 years old. So, those are what we're exploring today. Let's do it. In at 10, Purple Guy. William Afton is depicted as the Purple Guy in FNAF 2, a mysterious purple figure that was the figurehead of the Five Nights series. In the Take Cake minigame, he is depicted driving up outside the pizzeria and killing a kid outside the restaurant. Finally, he lured 5 kids into the back room using cake and a yellow suit, and then, as seen in the Foxy Go 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 minigame, killed them too. They go on to possess Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, Foxy, and Golden Freddy respectively. The puppet, who is the first victim, would then give them life in the animatronic suits to save their souls. In the second game, he is implied to have been the night guard before Jeremy Fitzgerald, and after surviving a week on the night shift, he complained about his conditions, so then he was moved to day shift. Although that's weird because he's the owner of the company, so why would he be just a security guard if he was also the suit technician? But currently that's all we have. He also went to kill on 5 more kids at that location, as we see in the Save Them minigame. In at 9, Pink Guy. The Pink Guy is the title given to the version of Purple Guy seen in FNAF 2's Foxy Go 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 minigame, which is already a huge issue, since now a load of people think that there are 2 killers in the series, and seriously caused a whole group of people to believe that the 2 killer theory was canon, and some of them I'm sure think of it to this day, despite the Pink Guy never making an appearance after that game. He's slightly higher on the list than Purple Guy because, well, everyone knows the Purple Guy, but those coming into the series later on may not know about this whole pink and purple debacle, unless they binged all of MatPat's theories, in which case they've heard it before. Back in the day though, in 2014 when the FNAF 2 came out, did you believe that there were 2 killers? Be sure to let me know down below. There's no shame in it, unless you still believe it to this day, with the exception of Vanny, since technically now there are 2 killers, but none of them were ever the Pink Guy. In at 8, Mustard Man. Mustard Man is certainly an interesting variant of William. Appearing in the Midnight Motors minigame from FNAF 6, you can only see this character if you use the secret shortcut hidden in lap 10. Well, okay, I say shortcut, but it's really a hidden level at the bottom of the map. This takes you through a whole separate story process where you go to a place named Junior's, get turned away, and then you go home. Someone in gray tells you to not be so hard on him, he's had a rough day, and then you proceed to be hard on him, whoever he is, since he's broken a window and seemingly escaped his room. This is very clearly meant to represent William Afton before Crying Child dies at the hands of Fredbear, since Crying Child would have been the one breaking his window in order to go to that place again. The single house in a clearing also parallels itself to FNAF 4's main menu screen with a single house on a clearing on a hill, and this minigame also gives us the order of events of children's deaths, since it seems to be like Elizabeth is gone at this point, so she would already be dead, and this also happens right after William killed Charlotte, since it's called later that night in the game files. So the order of deaths would go Elizabeth, Charlotte, Crying Child, and then the missing children's incident of 1985. And at 7, William Afton. William Afton is the classic version of the psychotic killer that we all know and want permanently dead. At least I do. Being first introduced by name in the Silver Eyes novel and then in the game's and sister location, William Afton is the one behind all the killings and is the true name of the man we originally knew as the Purple Guy. He's the one who used the yellow spring Bonnie suit to lure kids into the back room in 1985 and kill them, and he's the one who opened up Circus Baby's Pizza World to find more kids after Fredbear's closed and got his daughter killed because of it. William Afton, much like every other instance of this character, has done the same things as the other versions, but at least this time we had his true name, as revealed in the sister location opening cutscene. Quote, "There's no doubting what you've achieved on a technical level. These are clearly state of the art. There are just certain design choices that were made for these robots that we don't fully understand. We were hoping you could shed some light on those. She can dance, she can sing. She's equipped with a built-in helium tank for inflating balloons right at her fingertips. She can take song requests. She can even dispense ice cream. With all due respect, those aren't the design choices we were curious about, Mr. Afton." And at 6, Dave Miller. In the novels, Afton is described as being overweight around the time that the serial killings occurred, but he eventually lost that weight while in his Dave Miller persona, which comes from the FNAF novels, particularly the Silver Eyes. As Dave, William is slated to be tall and was described as being sallow and thin, with his skin sagging in appearance. His face was poorly shaven and his eyes looked unfocused and sunken. His security guard uniform didn't seem to fit him properly, and the uniform was grubby and torn in places, with his name tag hung askew on his chest. The scar on his neck was was also ugly and curved, almost like a perfect half moon, and the same scar appeared on the other side of his neck. In the graphic novels, Dave is depicted as having messy brown hair and gray eyes. He wears a scuffy uniform, his shirt is white with a black tie and pants, and due to the spring lock failure incident, there are endoskeleton arm marks where his arms are, as well as an endoskeleton torso. He also has the 2 scars on the back of his neck, which are also from the endoskeleton. Halfway through in at number 5, Vanny. Vanny is a follower of the digital virus Glitchtrap, a reincarnation of the serial killer William Afton, and appears as the main antagonist of FNAF Security Breach. It's revealed in the Princess Quest minigames that she was the main protagonist of Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, where she was first corrupted by Glitchtrap. She also plays a role in FNAF AR Special Delivery. Vanny wears a white bunny costume that has stitching all over it, with a large pink patch on her left hip. The costume also has a bright blue bow on the chest, and its hands and feet have like the pink pads under them, like the actual animal paws. Her bunny mask is also white, has a creepy smile and small buck teeth, along with a pair of whiskers, small eyebrows, and big glowing red eyes that appear to be spaced out. Vanny is shown to be murderous and evil as she attempts to trick Gregory into falling for a trap by pretending to be a nice and well-meaning security guard. She seems to cower in fear of her master Glitchtrap, as shown in scrap dialogue, and she just won't talk about him at all when in therapy, even though she mentions it but then immediately backtracks. She also has some uncertainty in her voice when being confronted about her task where she's supposed to be killing people. However, at the time of Security Breach, which takes place after the conversation we hear in Help Wanted, she apparently has killed 9 people at this point, as we can see from the newspaper article, assuming one of them isn't Gregory. But technically, being possessed by Glitchtrap makes her a version of William Afton. And at 4, Scraptrap. William returned once again in FNAF Pizzeria Simulator with a new design, dubbed Scraptrap. While he does retain some key physical details from Springtrap's design, there are some major differences. Unlike his previous design where his interior was mostly machinery, it's now mostly organic and shows his human skeleton as well as his flesh, and 5 bony fingers on his hands. The reason as to why William Afton is much more detailed this time around is unknown, but it could be possibly because his full body can be seen in one of the boot screens, but there are more torn patches on his suit this time around with multiple exposed wires, and he lost his left forearm, half of his left ear, and the rest of his right ear. His feet now have fabric over them, and 3 large round toes on each foot. His eyes don't glow anymore, and he looks mostly metallic, and the mask also has some significant differences with a much larger eye socket, black nose, square muzzle, a singular pair of buck teeth in the top row, and just sharp needle teeth at the bottom, as well as just being differently proportioned, which begs the question of how did this happen if he's still supposed to be Springtrap, or the same suit as Springtrap. Getting close to the end, and at number 3, Burntrap. William appears as the optional yet canon final boss in Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, named as Burntrap according to the game files. He only appears in the canon ending though. This form can be a result of Vanny downloading William's soul from the digital realm into his own hybrid animatronic of the animatronic suit, although his corpse is still partially visible. You can see his whole jaw at this point. Burntrap's new rotten form appears to wear his old but modified tattered greenish brown spring bodysuit, and it has become even more severely withered, having been burnt around 3 times at this point, and he's still not goddamn dead. The suit is missing fur, with the exception of the chest, hips, left foot, upper leg, and everything else was basically burnt away, and it reveals more of his charred corpse, although there is little of it left. His other endoskeleton has been replaced with the same endoskeletons that the Glamrock animatronics have, making him taller and giving him claws with sharp fingers, which I'm sure he's going to use later on. 2 of them replaced with fleshy finger bones on his right hand though. I don't know. This is the creepiest version that we've seen so far, but I like it. And ultimately in at number 2, Glitchtrap. Glitchtrap is the digital manifestation of William Afton and first appeared in FNAF Help Wanted. Glitchtrap takes on the form of a man wearing a cartoonish Spring Bonnie costume based on Spring Bonnie's appearance from a poster advertising Fredbear's Family Diner, being a really odd, grinning, bipedal, golden yellow rabbit. Basically, the cartoon version of Spring Bonnie. He's wearing a purple star-speckled vest, a purple bow tie, because of course he is, of course it's purple, and 2 black buttons near the top of his chest. He also has stitches across his hands and all of his joints because, it's a suit this time around. He initially appeared translucent, progressing into a less spectral form over time as you collect the 16 tapes, and he also possessed vivid purple eyes and small pupils, because of course he does, because purple. In blacklight mode, his eyes will turn blue with white circular pupils, but that's just because they're basically inverting him. He also has large whiskers on either side of his face, 3 eyelashes on both of his eyes, and large arching eyebrows, because you know what, he wants to take you to the back of the pizza joint, and then, you know, Uncle Fluffy ain't gonna do nice things. And finally, in at number 1, Springtrap. Springtrap is William Afton's first physical incarnation, appearing as a weak yet still living William sealed in a heavily damaged golden Bonnie Springlock suit. This version first appeared in FNAF 3, and he has a drab olive color, which is weird considering how olive is more green and he was originally supposed to be yellow, but whatever. He has darker colors all over like the insides of his stuff. A great portion of his right ear is missing, with a single red wire sticking out of the stump. Springtrap's entire body is torn and tattered, with gaping holes bearing exposed wires and casing, and yeah, basically, he looks very run down, like he's been sitting in the same room for 30 years. Oh wait, he has. His nose is like irregular and squarish, and he looks nothing like how Scraptrap looks, which still makes no sense to me. And this time, he has none of his feet. Yeah, that's right. The feet that he has attached are like the endoskeleton is intact, but the casing is stripped mid-shin down, and then you can like see all of the endoskeleton wiring, the actual endoskeleton, and the tendons that would have made up this section of actual William if he wasn't trapped in an animatronic suit. Keep in mind that this Afton is still alive at this point, since the one you should not have killed, crying child, is still keeping him alive, okay? So he could continue to suffer. So he's still alive at this point, and I'm tired of you people telling me that he's not, okay? Springtrap is not an animatronic. That's all the time we have for today, friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been in Shower Mate Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in the comments to yell at me.